Oh, stream.
You did?
I didn't mean to.
Fuck, what do we...
It's too early now.
No, is it... Did you stop it?
No, not yet.
Just keep it going. Just keep going. Okay. Just turn the audio off.
Got it. Okay.
It's better than the alternative. No problem. It's no problem. Listen, actually, you know what? Let's just see if it's going. This is not a bad thing.
I will see my mouse got stuck. I'm gonna play some music.
We're live. Don't stop.
See if you hear music. It might take 20 seconds.
I hear the audio from the field.
Okay, kill those two mics.
Softball Championships. Today's first game features the number 3 seed, St. Martin's University Saints, and the number 2 seed, Western Washington University Vikings. The Saints enter today's game with a record of 25-18. The Vikings are 39-7. And now let's meet the student athletes for both teams. First, the non-starters for the St. Martin's University Saints. Number 1, Shay Lopez. Number 8, Bridget Johnson. Number 9, Destiny Salamaka. Number 17, Jules de Trinidad. Number 18, Chloe Leverington. Number 22, Amanda Peterson. And number 25, Haley Agena. And here's the starting lineup for the Saints, as announced by head coach Jim Peterson. Assistant coaches are Aaron Knutson, Adrian Mitchell, and Matt Lowe's. Leading off in left field, number 23, Ashley Goodale. Batting second at third base, number 26, Heather Ebner. Batting third at first base, number 10, Brittany Patrick. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, number 15, Shelby Lawson. Batting fifth at catcher, number 4, Kate Kai Schultz. The second baseman, batting sixth and wearing number 7, Vanessa Smoke. At shortstop and batting seventh, number 5, Destiny Connerly. The designated player, batting eighth, number 19, Olivia Matlock. Batting ninth in center field, number 27, Mia Zachary. Starting pitcher for St. Martin's, number 2, Tia Riddings. Fans, those are your St. Martin's University Saints. And now let's meet the non-starters for Western Washington University. Number 3, Rachel Traxler. Number 4, Amaya Davis. Number 9, Kayana Kong. Number 10, Emily McCutcheon. Number 11, Riley Anderson. Number 12, Hanako Hirai. Number 13, Joey Baker. Number 17, Evelyn Messina. Number 18, Isabella Bay. Number 20, Layla Carpenter. Number 32, Alexis Slater. And number 99, Paris Delamagore. Those are your Vikings non-starters. And now let's meet the starting 9 for the Western Washington University Vikings, as announced by head coach Cheryl Gilmore, assistant coaches Sharina Labazan, Leah Francis, and Forrest Longenecker. Batting leadoff, the third baseman, number 8, Malia Andrews. Batting second in left field, number 2, Lexi Barkham. At shortstop, batting third, number 1, Haley Rapp. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 38, Emma Andrudesi Ramirez. The first baseman, batting fifth, number 5, Ashley Jacobson. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 15, Connie Patoy. The designated player, batting seventh, number 22, Emily Paulson. In center field and batting eighth, number 16, Taylor Karami. Batting ninth in right field, number 14, McKenna Crum. And starting for the Vikings, number 7, Allie Kimball. Those are your Western Washington University starters. Umpires for today's first game, Jay Gomeza, Dennis Allen, and Tom Heaton. Fans, at this time, we ask everyone to rise if they are able and remove your hats as we honor the national anthem for the United States of America. Play ball. A reminder that every game, the 2024 GNAC Softball Championships, we watch on your smartphone.
Welcome to Bellingham, Washington, as we get set for the GNAC Softball Championships. Sean Wally alongside Adam Race as we get set for Game 1 on this Thursday. The host, Western Washington Vikings, and the St. Martin Saints.
What an exciting day to be a fan of GNAC softball. Western Washington coming into this game nationally ranked in the top 15, number 1 in the West region. They come in with a number 2 seed and hosting a St. Martin's team, which has had a really good season, has some really good on-base percentage hitters and some solid closing pitching. Chloe Leverington, this is a team that went 0-6 against the Vikings in the regular season, but 3 of those games went to extra innings. They've kept it close, just haven't been able to close the door yet on Western Washington, as is the case for most teams in the nation. Western Washington coming in with a very impressive 39-7 record. They're setting their program record, 4 wins in a season. Previously stood at 37. St. Martin's coming in 25-18, the 3 seed. in this tournament. This is going to be a really good matchup to open up this weekend of GNAC softball.
You've seen a lot of these teams. You've seen a lot of Western Washington calling a lot of their games in the regular season. What are your thoughts as these 4 teams begin battle here today?
Well, obviously, the main story, one could say, is the number 1 and number 2 seed in this tournament, Western Washington and Northwest Nazarene. It's rare that you see 2 GNAC teams ranked nationally, but that's what we've seen this year. 2 teams just under 40 wins on the season. The number 1 and number 2 teams in the West region, but do not overlook Central Washington and St. Martin's, scrappy teams that have gotten wins against high-quality opponents in the GNAC and outside of conference play. They can cause a surprise in this tournament.
Game 1, we are underway. That's Ashley Goodell in the box for St. Martin's. On the mound for Western Washington, Allie Kimball with a 1.39 ERA.
What a freshman season Allie Kimball has been having. 1.31 ERA coming into this game, 1.39 make that. 15-2 record in 23 appearances. Usually the game 2 starter in doubleheaders, but head coach Cheryl Gilmore opting for the freshman over junior Joey Baker here in game 1 against SMU.
Goodell hitting .377 on the season. 52 hits, 2 doubles, 12 RBIs in the leadoff spot. The 2-1 on the way.
Early 3-1 count here. One thing to know about Allie Kimball is that she is one of the best control pitchers in this conference. Just 12 walks in 105 2/3 innings this season, pitching like a veteran in her first year.
That ball shot foul down the third baseline. Full count now. 56 and sunny. Beautiful day here in Bellingham. Very, very light breeze towards right field. Shouldn't affect the ball much. The 3-2 from Kimball. It's fouled away, out of play. Not too far from us.
This is an SMU team that's going to work the count very often. They draw more walks than any team in the GNAC. They're going to force Kimball to throw a lot of pitches.
We'll dance again at 3-2. Another foul down the right field line. Left field line, excuse me.
You look at the top 3 hitters for SMU, each of them with an on-base percentage of at least .430. This is the best on-base percentage team in the conference. It starts with Goodale, then to Ebner and Patrick, 3 really tough outs.
All 3 hitting well over 300. Good offense at the top of the order for St. Martin's. The 3-2 again, and that is ball 4.
And this is what is going to be the interesting battle in this game. Western Washington is giving up a sparse on-base percentage to their opponents. Their on-base percentage against right now is in the low 200s, but St. Martin's mid to high 300s OBP, especially in the top of this order. If they can get on base and come through with the big hit and shut them down on the other end, they have a good shot in this one.
Heather Ebner up there hacking. Fouls that one away.
What a season Heather Ebner has been having, the GNAC Freshman of the Year. That OBP at 487, that is the best in the conference.
Ebner playing third base for the Saints. The 0-1 from Kimball. Fouled up here above us, and we'll be watching for softballs on top of our heads.
Sean, I did get hit in the head my last time calling a game. I was waiting for it to happen. It finally did. Luckily, it just went off the headphones, but it's a hazard up here.
Didn't know I needed my helmet. Kimball's 0-2. High and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ebner hitting .377. 46 hits, 13 doubles, 7 home runs. So she's got some pop. The 1-2. Skied to left center field. Left fielder right there to make the catch is Barkham. Out number 1 for St. Martin's here, top of the first. Game number 1 of the GNAC Softball Championships. Top 4 teams in the conference make this championship tournament. One down, Ashley Goodell on first base after a walk, and she takes off the throw down from the catcher. She slides and is safe. Andrew Jeske Ramirez, a good throw, but a better steal by Goodell, and she's now at second.
For Goodell, that's her 5th steal this season. She's now 5 for 6.
Brittany Patrick in the box, the 0-1 to her. She takes ball 1.
This is a big early spot here for Brittany Patrick. They call her Big Hit Brit. She is the player that's going to deliver the clutch hitting in this game for St. Martin's, and that's what they need against a stingy Western Washington pitching staff. They need to take all the opportunities that they can get.
Patrick into center field, racing in for Western Washington, making the catch on a nice dive. None other than Taylor Karami.
And that is not where you want to hit the ball. Taylor Karami is simply one of the finest defensive outfielders in the history of the GNAC. 2 errors this season, just 3 errors in her 4 or 5 year Western Washington career out in center field. A gold glove out there.
Shelby Lawson now for St. Martin's with 2 down. Ashley Goodell out there at second base. Strike 1 is over. Important spot here early.
Shelby Lawson on fire right now. She's got an 8-game hitting streak. 3 3-hit games in their last series against Billings.
That one's skied. Over to take a look, but it's out of play. Running out of room was Andrew Jeske Ramirez.
Kimball went down in the count in the first AB, ended up giving up the walk, but early on in these next at-bats, she's taking control. A couple of 0-2 counts we've seen.
Important spot here, 0-2. With 2 down, top of the first. Ball 1. Goodell out there at second base for St. Martin's. Corner infielders about even with their base. The 1-2 from Kimball. That one out of play down the left field line. Count stays 1-2.
Saints still getting Kimball timed up. That's the 4th or 5th pulled foul ball we've seen early on the swings.
Kimball's 1-2 with 2 down. A pitch outside. Goodell out there at second base. Saints would love to strike first. 2s all around. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Top 1 here in Bellingham. And the swinging strike 3. Kimball gets Lawson swinging. And that is how the top of the first will end. Bottom of the first up next, Vikings coming to bat. 0-0 here in Bellingham.
Andrews.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington, Sean Wally and Adam Race, the GNAC Softball Championships on the campus of Western Washington University. Thank you for joining us. GNAC Sports on YouTube, gnac.tv. Bottom one, first ups for Western Washington. Malia Andrews leading things off. She takes a look at ball one from Tia Ridings.
Ridings in the circle, sporting a 3.35 ERA on the season, 4-7 record, 69 innings pitched for her. She's got 31 strikeouts, 38 walks to her name, facing, for my money, the best leadoff hitter in the conference in Malia Andrews, the unanimous first-team All-GNAC selection, having just a heck of a freshman season, batting .338, slugging .536 with a .439 on-base percentage. She has done a little bit of everything for this Vikings team in her debut season.
The 1-1 over for strike two.
Ridings has pitched 7 innings versus the Vikings this year. She's given up just 6 hits, but she's walked 5, 2 earned runs. A little bit of control issues this year for her. 15 wild pitches on the year.
Ridings just a freshman. The 1-2 on the way, skied to left center. Outfielders racing over, not getting there for St. Martin's is Zachary, and it's a triple to lead off the game for Malia Andrews.
And that's exactly what she does. She can get it in the air with power and race around those bases. That is her 4th triple of the season. She has got extra base hits coming in bunches this campaign and a huge leadoff triple. If the Vikings can take the lead early, this is a tough team to come back against.
Now, of course, these teams battled in the regular season. Didn't go very well for St. Martin's.
That's correct, Sean. 6 wins for Western Washington, none for SMU. 2 wins in non-conference play early in the season. That was in Lacey, and then the Saints came here to Viking Field about a month ago. The Vikings swept them in 4 games, including 2 walk-off wins, a homer by Andrew Ramirez, and a single in the 10th inning from Andrews.
Lexi Barkham into left field, and that gets over the head of the left fielder. Scoring is Andrews. Goodell misplayed that one. Couple too many steps in. Ball off her glove and got behind her. Vikings strike first. They're up 1-0.
That one just took off on Goodell. First step was in, and she ended up being too far in, over her head. Andrews may have scored anyway with the unfortunate route taken to the ball. But Barkham, who has become a really crucial bat in this lineup, coming through, putting the ball in play, making something happen.
Haley Rath, the Viking shortstop, in the box now. She takes a look at ball one. Vikings already on the board. We've got Barkham at second, nobody out.
That is going to be scored as a double. I'm sure Goodale would like to make that play, but it will not go down as an error, but an RBI double for Lexi Barkham.
The 1-0 smashed deep down left field, but it is foul.
And that's just Haley Rath showing off the power that she has, the GNAC Player of the Year. I mean, what a season she is having here, coming off a GNAC Freshman of the Season campaign last year. All around, she is the most dangerous hitter in this conference, batting .395 to lead all batters in the conference. And once again, just racking up extra base hits, 13 doubles, 2 triples, and 7 home runs. 100 total bases for her on the year.
Is that pretty good?
That's pretty dang good. And she comes up in big moments like this with runners in scoring position.
Ground ball to third, and it gets by Saints third baseman Ebner. On it quickly in left field is Goodell, so that prevents the run from scoring, but moving to third. Runners at the corners now for Western Washington, still nobody out.
Some early tournament jitters here from the St. Martin's defense. That's 2 plays that they could have made, and right now Western Washington, if they can take an early lead with the pitching staff they have, it is not looking good for St. Martin's. I'm definitely agreeing with the call here to bring the players in. Head coach Jim Peterson, his 6th season, talking things over, getting things settled. I mean, those are the plays that you're going to have to make.
There is action in the Saints bullpen.
And this is the MO of the St. Martin's pitching staff. The starters have been very solid this year, but pitching talent for St. Martin's comes from the bullpen in Chloe Leverington, one of the finest relief pitchers in the history of this conference. She leads Division II with 9 saves in 2024. Set the single-season saves record last season with 13. She's got a 2.02 ERA, and I'm sure Jim Peterson, if she sees her starter getting if he sees her starter getting in trouble, not going to be too shy to go to the bullpen and let Leverington work.
Viking catcher Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez up now. Batting .285 on the season, but 15 bombs.
That is a single-season Western Washington record, second this year in the GNAC, and the last pitch that she saw from St. Martin's pitching went over the left field fence, a walk-off home run to end that series here in Viking Field. Not going to be surprised if we see some pitches around the zone against her in this tournament and not too much for her to hit.
Swinging through that one is Andrzejewski Ramirez, count even at 1-1. Still nobody out for Western Washington here, bottom of the first.
She doesn't take small swings. She's making contact with power. She's not making contact at all, but she's got a very good batting average of .285 to go along with the 15 bombs.
Ball fouled away for strike 2. It's interesting to note, you say she doesn't take small or easy swings, nor should she, the 15 home runs. Look how deep the outfielders are playing for St. Martin's.
You have got to get back to the wall. She's going to send it out there if she gets a barrel to it.
The 1-2. Tapped foul. Count stays 1-2. Vikings have scored first. They lead it 1-0.
Vikings with a triple, a double, and a single for their first 3 batters. And the perfect player up here to complete the team cycle with a home run.
Ball lifted into left field, but left fielder playing so deep she couldn't get to it. That ball is fair. It's now 2-0 Vikings as Barkham scores.
And the fear factor coming into that one. Goodale was at the track, just a couple steps in front of the wall. If she's playing where you normally would in left field, she might get to that ball. But Andrzejewski Ramirez a little tied up on that swing, didn't get all of it, but dropped into left field. What a dream start for Western Washington. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
First baseman Ashley Jacobson now for the Vikings. Shows bunt, pops it in the air, and the Saints get the first out for Western Washington, making the play. Pitcher Tia Ridings.
And that was much needed for Ridings. She has had a tough start to this one, and trying to move the runner along there was Jacobson, just getting underneath the bunt. Well played by the pitcher.
Second baseman Connie Patoy now for Western Washington. They lead 2-0. 2 runners on, 1 down, bottom 1.
Patoy, the very experienced junior. She's been an everyday starter for the last 3 seasons now, batting .252 on the season. She started every game at second base for the Vikings. She's got 19 RBIs on the year, and she has been good for a few clutch base hits. And with runners in scoring position, now would be the time for another one.
Ridings the 1-0. Fouled out of play down the right field line.
And the thing about this Western Washington lineup is it can hurt you from the 1 to the 9. There is not really a weak spot offensively for Western Washington, and it's reflected statistically, leading the GNAC in batting average, second in slugging, and second in on base. The team as a whole batting just a couple ticks under 300.
That's a fair ball to third and out. The force play and a double play. The throw on to first base. Nice job by St. Martin's third baseman Heather Ebner to end the inning. Vikings lead it 2-0. We'll head to the top of the second next here on GNAC.TV. Kai Schultz.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington, as we move to inning number 2, top of the second between St. Martin's and Western Washington. Vikings already up 2-0. Sean Wally with Adam Race. Saints need to climb back into this one.
Yeah, the starter Riddings got in some trouble in that first inning, gave up 4 hits, couple of earned runs, a triple, a double, and 2 singles given up. Just the 2 runs, lucky to get out of it, inning-ending double play. And tell you something about how this St. Martin's team bats. They made Kimball throw 21 pitches in that first inning. A first inning where she allowed a base runner but not a hit. Riddings actually threw less pitches in that first inning, in which she gave up 4 hits and 2 earned runs.
It's crazy how that works. 1-1 to Schultz, the St. Martin's catcher. Fouled high and over our heads, out of play.
Schultz, experienced junior, batting .235 on the year, has been a rotational player. Has seen plenty of game time against the Vikings this year, though.
The 1-2 on the way from Kimball. High and outside. Count even at 2-2.
Schultz 2-10 against the Vikings this year, 0-5 in the series here at Viking Field.
The 2-2 from Kimball. Look good, but the umpire doesn't agree. 3-2 now.
Well,
Count full.
Home umpire Jay Gomeza has had a tight zone here early on here, establishing it consistently on both sides. A few pitches that Kimball has wanted on the corner, she hasn't gotten.
The 3-2. Smacked high and deep to left center. Left fielder there at the track. Making the catch for Western Washington. Lexi Barkham hauls that deep drive in.
Schultz got all of that one, sent it out in a hurry, but got under it, sent her to the track, but couldn't muscle it over the fence. Unfortunate.
Number 7, Vanessa Smoke.
1 down for St. Martin's here in the top of the second. Second baseman Vanessa Smoke now, the senior for the Saints.
Smoke is 5 for 18 this year against the Vikings. Just 6 for her last 30, but had a productive series against Billings, going 4 for 11. Double and her first home run of the year.
0-1 after she fouls that. Out of play.
And that theme is going to continue up and down the Saints lineup with them picking up their first home run of the year in Billings. Kind of the Coors Field of the GNAC. Ball sailing over the fence quite easily over in Billings, a high run environment.
Kimball's 0-1. Smoke skies it. First baseman there for Western Washington. Ashley Jacobson makes the second out with the catch.
Jacobson, maybe the finest offensive first baseman in the conference this season. Just a single error on the year for her and over 200 fielding chances. Makes the squeeze there.
Shortstop Destiny Connerly now for St. Martin's with 2 down in the top of the second. Kimball delivers. Fouled off, strike 1. To the Saints shortstop, hitting .223 on the year. Does have 4 home runs, though.
And that batting average was as low as 165, but she's put together a really good 5-game hitting streak to bring it back up. Over that streak, 8 for 12 with 8 RBIs, 2 doubles, and 2 home runs. Has scored at least 1 run in every game of that hitting streak. Back-to-back 3 RBI games in the first day of that 4-game set against Billings, so she's hot right now.
Kimball's 0-1. Bunt shown and popped foul. It'll be strike 2. 2 down, top of the second here in Bellingham, Washington, on the campus of Western Washington University. Viking Field. Beautiful spring day. Should get the mercury just over 60, 61, 62 today.
You wouldn't know that it was pouring rain a week ago today.
The 0-2 just a bit outside. 1-2 the count now.
And we've seen it since that first batter where Kimball got in trouble on a 3-1 count. She has been getting ahead early. See another 0-2 count. I believe that's 3 or 4 in the last 4 or 5 batters. She is putting the SMU batters in tough counts, and it's paying off for her.
The 1-2 on the way. Strike 3 to end the inning. Kimball gets the swinging strikeout. Down goes Connerly. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Vikings lead it 2-0 on GNAC.TV. Back here in Bellingham, Washington, the bottom of the second. Vikings up to bat. They lead it 2-0. And it's Emily Paulson for Western Washington, the designated player.
Paulson in the designated player spot today. A little surprised to not see her behind the dish catching. Very good defensive catcher, but her bat has also really heated up as of late. She started all 3 of the wins in the Western Oregon road trip the Vikings closed out the regular season with. She went 3 for 10, had a double, and hit the first home run of her collegiate career in her home state. Good to see that for Paulson, who's split time with Andrzejewski Ramirez behind the dish this year.
Count in her favor, 2 balls, no strikes. Ridings, the 2-0, over for strike 1.
Vikings a couple of extra base hits in that first inning, and that has been the story for them this season. Coming into this game, 111 extra base hits on the season. As far as total bases go, they have the most of any team in this conference. Second place is NNU. The Vikings lead the Nighthawks by 97 total bases.
So crazy the run Western went on, the winning streak. Yet, just by a tick, NNU is the #1 seed.
It really shows the dynasty that they've built over in Nampa, just year in, year out excellence. It feels like Western Washington did everything right this year. As you were saying, a 17-game winning streak, a program record. They won their first 13 games of the season, but still falling 1 game short of an NNU squad that just does not stop picking up W's. Just a very well-run program and has had a stranglehold on this conference over the last few years. Back-to-back tournament champions.
Taylor Karami, the center fielder for Western Washington, shows bunt, pulls it back. 1 ball to her.
Now, part of the story of this Vikings team becoming such a force this year is players like Taylor Karami, who are known for flashing the leather as their expertise, having a really good offensive season, batting .279, usually in the bottom 3 of the order. On-base percentage of .329, 10 RBIs for her. She's been very productive in a spot that you see a lot of teams put players who specialize in another part of the game, but there is not a weak spot in this order for Western Washington.
Ridings 1-1. Laced into right field for a base hit. Heading to second is Paulson, and Karami heads to first with a sharp single.
Vikings are seeing Ridings pitches very well right now. I would not be surprised to see Jim Peterson give her the hook soon and bring in the closer, Leverington, early. Leverington has been effective against the Vikings in her SMU career, and you see here it might be time for the big reliever to come in.
And Ridings will come out of the game. Bridget Johnson taking over in the circle for St. Martin's, and while she has her warm-up tosses, we'll step aside here on GNAC.TV. Back here in Bellingham, Washington. Bridget Johnson taking over for St. Martin's in the circle. And we have 2 on for Western Washington, and now we have a double steal as the ball gets away, gets to the backstop. Now runners on 2nd and 3rd for the Vikings as they threaten again. Nobody out. And McKenna Crum at the plate, the right fielder.
Pitch got by Schultz there. This is an SMU team that has given up more wild pitches and pass balls than any other team in the GNAC by a pretty wide margin. And with McKenna Crum up there, she has been sneakily one of the most important players in this lineup. It's crazy to say that the 9-hole hitter has been so crucial offensively, but batting .289, on-base percentage of .316, 15 RBIs for her. She played some time in leadoff to start off the season, but she's really settled into this 9-hole spot. Was really productive in the last series here at Viking Field. You see the infield is all the way in. She hits a lot of singles, but she can lift it over this tightened infield.
Johnson hasn't found the strike zone until now. 3-1 the count.
Excuse me, I was sure that Leverington would come in relief here, but Bridget Johnson coming in to try to settle things down here. Johnson sporting an ERA of .486 this season.
That one hit back to Johnson. She gets the out at first base. Looked the runner back at third. Keeping Karami at third. Runners don't advance. 1 down for the Vikings here in the bottom of the 2nd.
Perfectly played there by Johnson. Make sure the runner doesn't go. It got to her quickly, but it does not get any easier for her as Malia Andrews. This is a kind of spot where she just feasts and picks up those RBIs.
Top of the order. Andrews getting her 2nd at bat, and we're only in the 2nd inning.
Led off with a triple in this game, all the way to the wall in left center. A ball that could not be hauled in by Zachary. She doesn't need that much power to score the runs here. A single would probably get 2.
Johnson's 1-0, now 2-0. Struggled to find the strike zone to Crum. Similar results so far to Andrews.
It just looks like a jittery start here all around for St. Martin's. The defense and the pitching just has not been top notch.
First strike there to Crum. Or I'm sorry, Andrews. 2-1, 1 down, 2 on for the Vikings. Already 2 in the bottom of the 1st. We're now in the bottom of the 2nd. Vikings threatening again. Strike 2 over, count even at 2-2.
Really good location on that pitch, finding the low outside corner. Karami, the speedy center fielder, over at second base, further confirming that a single will probably be for 2 RBIs here, would double the lead.
Full count now. And that'll be a walk to load the bases. Andrews to first base.
Now batting the left fielder, number 2, Lexi Barkham.
Lexi Barkham, her 2nd at bat, the left fielder for Western Washington with the sacks full of Vikings.
Malia Andrews leading the conference in walks, picking one up there and handing it off to Barkham. Barkham hit a double her first time up. It was hit to the left fielder, and Goodale A play she probably could have made, but it sailed over her head, got a bit of the glove to it, but that's a play that she'll want to make. And defense is really going to have to be down here with 1 out and all the bases loaded.
Count goes to 2-0 to Barkham. Nowhere to put her. Bases loaded, full of Vikings. 1 down, bottom 2. Strike 1 is over. 2-1.
And got it. That's a tough spot to throw the freshman into postseason. Runners in scoring position. See how she reacts to it.
Ground ball to short. The flip to second for the force. The run will score. Saints get the second out. Nice job on defense by Destiny Connerly. The backhand and the flip to second.
Barkham doing just enough, picking up already her second RBI in this game after the RBI double in the first. And the hardest out in this lineup in Haley Rath now.
Viking shortstop. She's a sophomore. Hitting .395 coming into this game. 2 down, runners at the corners, 3-0 Vikings. Rath to short. Connerly there, fires to first, and that will retire the side. Vikings get 1 more. They're up 3-0 as we head to the third here in Bellingham on GNAC.TV. We're back here in Bellingham, Washington, as we get set for the top of the third. 3-0 Vikings, and now for the play-by-play, here's Adam.
Thank you, Sean. Allie Kimball steps back into the circle, gave up a leadoff walk to Ashley Goodale, but since then has retired 6 in a row with a couple of strikeouts, 33 pitches so far for her. On the other end, as far as the starters go, Tia Reddings chased after 1 inning, 27 pitches, 5 hits, and 3 earned runs. Her final line, 1 walk, no strikeouts for her, and Kimball trying to shut the door on the other end, something she's done so well this season. I mean, it's just so impressive to see this young Vikings pitching staff at this elite level, one of the best in the nation, despite being a couple of freshmen and a junior. A couple of foul balls to start things off here from Olivia Matlock, the designated player here for SMU.
Adam, these teams have faced each other 7 times in this championship tournament. Vikings holding a 4-3 advantage.
And eliminating St. Martin's in last year's tournament, part of a fairy tale run really for a 4-seed Western Washington team all the way to the final where they would be beaten by Northwest Nazarene, as another foul ball is going to get down and out of play. And that run by Western Washington was really a precursor of what was to come. That was just a scrappy team getting big hits. But really this year, they've been a juggernaut. There's nothing that they've done badly. The pitching has been elite. The hitting has been the best in the conference. They can hit for clutch. They can pitch for clutch. They play excellent defense. This is all around one of the finest squads in the nation. And they've been showing it week in and week out. Just a really tough team to beat. Kimball, the 0-2 pitch up high. Matlock battling here. Saints, as per what they've done all season, are forcing her to throw pitches. They're fouling pitches off. Best on-base percentage team in the conference. That is their best offensive stat. And you knew coming into this one, if they were going to pick up runs against the Vikings, they'd have to get on base and come up clutch. As that one's hit to Rath, took a tough hop on her up into the hands, and Matlock's going to be aboard. That is going to be scored as an error on Haley Rath. Usually sure-handed, as I was saying, Western Washington tied for the best fielding percentage in the GNAC at a 9.69 clip. Program record set back in 2011 is a 9.70 fielding percentage. That 2011 team also who the Vikings usurped this year as the all-time single season wins leaders. They had 37 in that season, Vikings with 39 through the regular season, and looking to add to it here in the postseason. Kimball looking to work around a leadoff runner for the second time today, fouled off.
That ball to Rath, she let it eat her up. She let it get to her instead of taking the charge, take a step in, go get the ball. And it paid off for St. Martin's.
Came at her with some speed, and as you said, not taking the correct approach to it. We're going to have a meeting in the circle here at 0-1. Jim Peterson talking things over with his hitters, trying to get to Kimball here with a runner on. You saw the attempted bunt on the first pitch by this center fielder, Mia Zachary. Matlock standing over at first base. Not a lot of speed, hasn't attempted a steal this year and in the designated player position. Mia Zachary, the freshman, batting .238 on the season. Just a couple of RBIs for her and only one extra base hit. 10 total hits for her. Just her 14th start of the season and making it in the postseason. The 0-1 delivery from Kimball, up high, well watched.
This is an important inning for the Saints offensively. They could use a run, get on the board, get some momentum, and not get too far behind. Granted, this is a double elimination championship tournament, but you want to give yourself some hope and some life.
Swing and a miss there on a pitch above the bat of Zachary. And SMU came into this game red hot. They'd won 5 on the bounce. They took a game from a nationally ranked Northwest Nazarene team and then swept MSU Billings in Billings. And over that 5-game winning streak, they outscored their opponents 43-18. They need those bats to stay hot as Zachary just gets enough of that one to stay alive. This is a Vikings team. You have to do everything right to give yourself a chance to beat them. We saw that in the last series here at Viking Field. Central Washington coming to town and getting a surprise series split. A bunch of pitching duels, close games where Central Washington got the hits when they needed to and got the outs when they needed to. You're not going to get a whole lot of chances. Another 1-2 count here from Kimball, ahead in the count once again. And you knew Allie Kimball was going to be special coming into this season after the career that she had back in high school, but maybe didn't expect this level of production in her freshman year, as that one is weakly looped over to Rath, who puts the squeeze on it for the first out.
You said that right. Weak was exactly what I was thinking when I saw that. It seemed like the ball was more off the hand, near the handle, instead of the barrel of the bat.
Kimball's done an excellent job missing barrels this season, as has this entire Vikings pitching staff. And she'll go back to the top of the order with Ashley Goodaler. Walked her first time up, got a 3-1 count and worked it into a base on balls back in the first inning. First pitch this time, though, is a strike. And we saw early on in the season, Kimball was put in a late game situation against a ranked Concordia University Irvine team and got out of a jam. And after that game, Cheryl Gilmore said that Allie definitely did not throw like a freshman. We put her in the game with the game on the line against one of the best teams in the country, and she did not blink. She came on in the 10th versus Irvine and stranded a runner at third, holding out for a win against a ranked team. And that was back when the Vikings were not a nationally ranked team and just showing their ability. As that one's hit to Rath, they could double them up. And she's called safe over at first base. That was awful close. Dennis Allen on the call there. I thought they might have gotten the ball to Jacobson in time, but hustling back to the bag is Matlock. So the line out will just be 1, and that is 2 outs in the inning.
Nice job by Rath to not only have enough attention paid to make the catch, but to throw to first and almost get the double play.
Ebner, that's a solid base hit up the middle, fielded by Karami, who cuts it off and gets it in. So just a single, and that will be the first base hit of the game for St. Martin's. Ebner has had success this year against the Vikings, as she has against all teams that she's faced, batting .377 here in her freshman season. Picks up another knock right there, her 47th of her campaign. Brings up the 3-hole. Brittany Patrick looping out to right field. Crum under it, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. Top of the third, a hit and a reach on an error, but nobody comes around to score. It is still Vikings 3, Saints nothing. Back here at Viking Field, it is Western Washington 3, St. Martin's University nothing in the opener of the 2024 GNAC softball tournament. Here in Bellingham, Washington, Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez, the slugging catcher, will lead off the third here. Going against Bridget Johnson, the freshman reliever, who has acted as a bit of a swing pitcher for this SMU squad that does tend to lean on their bullpen and get a lot of pitching changes. Warming up in the pen right now is another freshman reliever in Amanda Peterson. Someone we have not seen getting warm yet is Chloe Leverington, as that one is grounded right back to the circle. Throws on to first in time. Bridget Johnson has shown her ability with the glove so far in this appearance. A couple of outs for her as she gets the weak contact from Andrzejewski Ramirez.
Almost makes you wonder if the Saints are saving Leverington for tomorrow's game. But as you've seen all season, a lot of these pitchers can go multiple games in multiple days.
Usually back-to-back days, sometimes seeing them in back-to-back games, depending on the situation, 100 plus pitches. This is not the MLB where you're held to under 100 pitches consistently and shut down for a matter of days. Jacobson hits it high up in the air. It's not getting out of here, though. Under it is the center fielder, Mia Zachary, makes the catch and retires Jacobson, who popped out a bunt in her first time at bat. This time gets a lot more on it, but same result. 2 away in the bottom of the third.
Would go a long way for the Saints if they could give the first goose egg to the Vikings here in the bottom of the third.
The Vikings have been on these pitches. You had 4 base hits in the first inning, a walk, a couple of walks, and a base hit in the second inning. And it would be the first 1-2-3 inning of the game if they can retire the second baseman, Connie Patoy, who grounded into an inning-ending double play back in the first. That was her last time up. Gives this one a ride out to right field, but it's not going to get beyond the reach of Lawson, and that is a much-needed 1-2-3 inning. We go to the top of the fourth now. Still Vikings 3, Saints 0.
Leading off the fourth inning for the Saints, the right fielder, number 15, Shelby Lawson.
Shelby Lawson starts things off in the top of the fourth frame here. St. Martin's has to get something going offensively in a 3-run deficit right now, but Kimball is dealing. 1-2-3 second. Gave up a single and let up an error as well in the last inning, but worked out of it. And good contact on the first pitch into left field. Second single of the game. Looks like they're seeing the pitches a little better out of the hand of Kimball now.
Important inning offensively for the Saints after they shut down the Vikings for the first time, not allowing them to score in the bottom of the third. If they can start climbing back in this one, gain some momentum. Of course, 7 innings in college softball.
Time running thin immediately for SMU, especially against a stingy pitching staff. That one is sent straight up in the air. Looks like it's going to be playable. Rath calls off Andrews and makes the play. So a couple of pitches, a couple of balls in play, 1 out and 1 on.
Love the fact that St. Martin's is coming out aggressive for the inning. It's what they're going to have to do for the final 4 innings.
Vanessa Smoke, who popped out to Jacobson at third base in her first time up. This time strikes it line drive to center, just out of the glove of Karami. Racing around to third will be Shelby Lawson, and it's going to be runners on the corners. And Karami looks a little shaken up in center, might have landed awkwardly on her wrist. That is not something you want to see if you are Cheryl Gilmore, Vikings head coach and GNAC Coach of the Year. She's going to go out and check on her star defensive center fielder who almost made yet another highlight reel catch there. We already saw one good catch out in center in this game. That time, just in and out of the glove.
Was a great attempt.
Looks like she's gonna stay out there. A little shaken up, but no worse for wear. As Cheryl Gilmore is gonna take this opportunity to talk with her infield and her pitcher, Allie Kimball, who started off this game missing a lot of barrels and not giving up good contact, but a couple of well-struck balls here in the fourth, a couple of line drives that have both dropped in, and now runner in scoring position for the Saints. Runner at third base, first time we've seen that today for SMU.
Karami, the great attempt, the dive in center. She's feeling that a little bit, but staying in the game. I was a little surprised the Saints didn't send the runner, because the ball was still in left field. But you're down 3, so one's not going to solve the problem necessarily.
Lawson, the runner, is also the steals leader on this SMU team, so if you want someone rounding third on that play to try to get a play at the plate, it would be Lawson. But going conservatively here with just 1 out, they're confident that the next hitter up here, Destiny Connerly, who's red hot right now, can pick something up. Connerly currently batting as well as she has all season, just .223 on the year. But as I said earlier, that was as low as 168 before this recent hitting streak in which she has batted .500 over the last 5 games. Big part of the Saints' success over those 5 games. Fouls that one back. Quick 0-2 hole here for Connerly.
She wanted that one. You could tell a little bit of disgust when she fouled that one straight back.
Struck out swinging her last time up here against Kimball. Strikeout would be huge. She's already got a couple in this game, but the runners on the corners, okay, would mean the world to getting out of this inning unscathed. The 0-2. She put it just a tick above the zone there. Andrew Ramirez tried to haul it back in and frame it, but called a ball by Jay Gomeza. Connerly, the experienced senior, showing patience in a big spot, and now going to 2-2.
Huge hole up the middle. If she can get it by Kimball, easy base hit most likely, as long as she puts some steam on it.
Kimball, an excellent defensive pitcher without an error so far this season, and just under 30 attempts, and she gets the swinging strike 3. A big strikeout for the freshman, and there's 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Saints are going to have to get the run the old-fashioned way here. Olivia Matlock is the batter with a runner in scoring position and no outs to work with. Matlock sent a ball last time up towards Haley Rath, took a tough bounce, and she ended up getting a board. Watches a first pitch just outside 1-0. Matlock batting just .211 on the season. She's got 11 RBIs to her name. The 1-0. Fouled back into the evergreens.
Matlock, the designated player for St. Martin's here this afternoon. She could put a jolt in the Saints if she can come through here with 2 down, runners at the corners.
And these are the kind of big spots that Kimball has excelled in this season. A 1-1 now. Put it up high. Taken 2-1. Hitters count now for Matlock. 2 outs gives the Vikings defense the ability to play out a little bit, not have to play for the bunt.
You can see Matlock thought about that one and held off.
Kimball, an excellent control pitcher. Doesn't walk a lot of batters. Has a 3-1 count here, though. And Matlock's going to be really picky here. 3-1 count. If she gets her pitch, she's going to try to put a charge in it, but a walk moves it along here and gets that pitch count for Kimball up as well. The 3-1 in there. Looks like Matlock was watching that one all the way. She let it fly into the zone, and the count runs full.
Adam, something's got to give. 2 on, runners on the corners, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Saints need some runs.
Perhaps the biggest pitch of the game so far for Kimball. Swung on, lifted to right field. That one is above Crum, who makes the catch. And Kimball works her way out of the jam. Still no runs for SMU. The Vikings lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
The designated player, number 22, Emily Paulson.
Emily Paulson walked her last time up, and she starts things off in the bottom of the 4th. Vikings looking for some insurance. Already the 3-run cushion here. Working against the second pitcher of the game, Bridget Johnson for SMU. As Paulson swings the first pitch, hits it to the shortstop, Connerly, in time on to first. Connerly to Patrick for out number 1. So a quick first out here for Johnson, just what she needed after a very effective 3rd inning, the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for the Saints.
1 pitch, 1 out, just exactly how they drew it up.
That will bring up Taylor Karami. A little concern for Karami at the top of the inning, dove for a line drive and looked to hurt her wrist a little bit, but shook it off, played the rest of the inning. Now she steps into the box. She singled her last time up, got around to 3rd base, but did not score. And she looks at a strike to make it 1-1. Karami, one of the seniors on this team, honored a couple weeks back at Senior Day. What a career she has had. A special defensive outfielder and a leader as well. And she's got a couple of singles already in this first game of the GNAC tournament. Just sends that one right back up the middle. And there is 1 on with 1 out now.
Solid single. Getting things going for the Vikings here in the 4th.
Karami, who's been consistently able to deliver those base hits this season. Starting off hot in this tournament with a couple of singles in 2 at-bats, and that brings up McKenna Crum. Grounded out right back to the pitcher. Johnson, that was the first batter that she saw. She was put into a jam back in the second. Ended up working out with just the 1 run. Infield all the way in on the slap hitting Crum, but she lifts it over the infield to left, and making the play is Goodale. Off to her right side, 2 away here. Crum gets decent contact on it, but not able to find grass. And we'll go back to the top of the order and Malia Andrews.
Nice job by Goodale out there in left field.
We talk about just excellence in a debut campaign. Look no further than what Malia Andrews has done as a steal down to second base. Karami swipes a bag. This is not a Vikings team that takes a lot of bases, but getting one there with a couple of outs, putting the runner in scoring position.
Karami had a big jump. She was more than halfway before the ball was even out of the catcher's hand. Vikings looking to put a little more pressure on the Saints.
Karami's 10th steal of the season. She's now 10 for 13 on the year. Andrews hits it hard to the left side. That one's going to get down and fair. Scoring will be Karami. Andrews on her way to second base. She's in standing and is a 4-0 Vikings lead.
To the delight of the Viking faithful here at Viking Field.
And that is just how you draw it up as Cheryl Gilmore get aboard, take a base, and hit it into the grass in the outfield. Karami was running on contact with 2 outs, and she scored easily. Malia Andrews once again comes through. She's got a triple, a double, and a walk in 3 plate appearances in this game. Lexi Barkham now. Sacrifice that scored a run in the second and an RBI double in the first. Second time she's been up with Andrews in scoring position in this game. And a single would score with the speed of Andrews and 2 outs.
You think Andrews has a single and a home run left in her bag today?
She has some pop. She's got 4 home runs on the year already. 1 here at Viking Field, 1 down the road at Seaholm softball field as well. That one gets way away from Johnson. There's the wild pitches that have had a lot of effect on SMU's pitching season this year. They have thrown more than any other team by a pretty wide margin. That one way over the head of the catcher, Kai Schultz, and Andrews down to third base. Might not make that much of a difference. Hit to the left side, gloved at shortstop, and a great play there. Retires aside. Connerly saves a run with the defensive stop, but the damage is done with 1 run scoring. Vikings extend their lead 4-0 Western Washington as we go to the top of the 5th. We've got a pitching change for Western Washington here. Allie Kimball's game is over with. A very solid 4 innings from her. Gave up 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 3, and did not allow an earned run. The freshman in her first GNAC tournament game comes through with a very good 4-inning performance and hands it off to the best relief pitcher in the conference and one of the best in the nation in Kayana Kong. Can't say enough good things about this pitcher right here. Recently named the GNAC Pitcher of the Week for the second time this season. Lowest ERA in the conference. 1.28 is the earned run average, batting 188 our opponents against her. 87.1 innings this season for Kong. 13-1 record, 5 saves. All of her appearances have been in relief. 59 strikeouts and just 14 walks. The real stat that pops out, though, is she has only allowed 4 extra base hits all season in almost 90 innings. People cannot find the barrel against Kong.
Well, you can see all the movement on these pitches. Hard to square that up, no doubt. Those numbers this season just incredibly impressive.
And, you know, a huge part of this success has been the freshman class for Western Washington. You saw it in that last inning with Andrews picking up the double, a freshman. Kimball, a freshman, and now Kong, a freshman. All of them elite players in this conference, as Kong had a 3-0 count, but brings it to 3-1. Allie Kimball further lowering that 1.39 ERA on the season, and she is in line for what would be her 16th win if Kong can shut the door, something she has done with incredible consistency this season. That one's low, and it's a leadoff walk to the 9-hole hitter, not the start Kong was looking for. Mia Zachary gets aboard. We go back to the top of the lineup. Ashley Goodale lined out to Haley Rath at shortstop her last time up and walked to lead off the game back in the first inning. Goodale, a very impressive .452 on-base percentage in her freshman season here. Part of a top 3 hitters in this Saints lineup that have been the best as far as OPP goes in the conference.
Kong, a freshman originally from Hawaii.
Kong, the Ewa Beach native, product of Campbell High School. 2023 state champion at Campbell High School. She's a utility player, contributed in the circle and with the bat in that state championship campaign for Campbell. The 0-1. Down low, Andrzejewski Ramirez watches the runner Zachary back to first base. The advantage of that 9-hole hitter getting aboard is Mia Zachary, 5 for 6 on steals, the center fielder. She can swipe a bag, and I'm sure that will come into play if Kong gets a couple of outs here. Jim Peterson's Saints need to start picking up runs with just a few outs left to work with here. The 1-1 swing and a miss there from Goodale. Goodale, the contact pitcher, jogging out of the box as she swings, something unique to softball, something you do not see in baseball as much, but trying to hustle down that line, especially as a lefty, gets you a lot of singles, and that has been the case for Goodale this year, who's batting .377 with 52 hits, 50 of them singles.
Looking to slap that ball.
1-2 pitch, just a bit outside. The tight zone continues from Gomeza. You got to say he has been consistent with it here. 2-2 count now. Kong was excellent in that Western Oregon series, leading to that GNAC Pitcher of the Week award. As a bunt is fouled back. And that's going to do it on the foul bunt. Third strike. Not something you see too often. Getting the hitter to lay down a bunt with 2 strikes, that is the risk. If you don't put it in play, you're out. And that is the case for Goodale.
You have to wonder if that was her idea or coaching on that, because a bit of a head scratcher indeed.
And Goodale certainly confident in her ability to lay one down as the leadoff hitter and a great OPP player, but I don't know about the decision right there. Swinging away at the first pitch was Ebner. They get the play at second, but not at first. Ebner was hustling up the line. It got past the glove of Jacobson, but wouldn't have been in time anyway. They get the lead runner, though. Andrews over to Patoy at second, and there's quickly 2 away now. Just a couple of pitches ago, there was 1 on and nobody out, but Kong has done very well to work around that leadoff walk.
Adam, the Saints have had base runners, so they just can't get the clutch hit and come through when necessary to get on the board.
And that has been part of the pitching excellence of this Vikings team, is when you get runners on base, it really doesn't even matter. I mean, that batting average gets even lower when runners get on base against them. Of course, opponents batting just .219 against this staff. And they don't give up a lot of walks either. The whip sitting at 1.05, that's walks and hits per innings pitched. That's 10th nationally for this team, so Saints should be happy to have the base runners they have gotten, but you just gotta come through with the big base hits against this Vikings pitching staff.
Gotta take advantage when the opportunity arises, and so far this afternoon, St. Martin's unable to do that to bring runners home. They're only down 4, not an insurmountable lead by any means.
Definitely, and with Brittany Patrick up here, this is the kind of player you're looking to get that big hit out of. Brittany Patrick leading this team, or second on this team with 24 RBIs, hits that one straight into the ground. Andrew Ramirez gloves it, throws on to first. They got her. Well played by Eva Andrzejewski Ramirez, and that'll do it for the top of the 5th inning. Another goose egg for SMU. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Vikings still protecting a 4-0 lead.
The shortstop, number 1, Haley Rath.
Haley Rath, the GNAC Player of the Year, leads things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Singled back in the 1st, hit a ball to the left side that could not be gloved by Ebner. Scored it as a single. Vikings 7 hits so far in this game, 4 runs scored. I mean, you talk about not only getting the hits, but getting them in the big spots. 4 runs is pretty good for 7 hits, and no errors by St. Martin's either. Vikings have taken advantage of their opportunities. Can't say as much for St. Martin's. 3 hits. They've had runners in scoring position, but can't plate anything just yet.
Rath, a hitting machine, 395 coming into this game, 62 hits on the season.
And I could go on and on about the season and really the career that Rath is building right now. I mean, she led the team in extra base hits last year. She lifts this to right field. This one's going to be caught out and right by Lawson. And Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez is up next. And it just says something about this Vikings lineup that you get a big out against perhaps the most dangerous hitter in the conference, and up steps another one of the most feared hitters in the conference as the outfield shifts left and way back to the fence. Andrzejewski Ramirez, 15 home runs on the season, picked up 2 in the final series of the regular season. Surpassed the Vikings' single-season record. Hits this one up the middle. Well played at short by Connerly on a hop to get Andrzejewski Ramirez. So 2 quick outs here.
I'll tell you, one of the bright spots for St. Martin's has been Connerly's defense. She's made impressive plays. That one back behind second base. When it was first hit, you thought it might have had a chance to get through, but not with Connerly over there.
Connerly has historically, in a Saints uniform, been a defensive specialist, although that bat has heated up as of late. But showing her prowess with the leather over at shortstop today, made a big play with a runner in scoring position back in the 4th inning to prevent Andrews from scoring from third base. Jacobson, a unanimous first-team All-GNAC selection in her first season as a Western Washington Viking this year after transferring from Division I Stony Brook University. She has had an all-around elite batting season. She's played excellent first base as well. She fouls that one away. Count goes to 2-1. Jacobson batting .338, slugging .574, on-base percentage at .397. Those are all marks in the upper echelon of the conference. Not leading in any one category, but just all around, no weak spots with the bat.
Adam, March 22nd through April 13th, Vikings win 17 in a row. What do you think the key to that winning streak was?
Well, really, everything came together. As we go here to the break, we'll discuss it here in the bottom or the top of the 6th inning as we get a goose egg in the bottom of the 5th. We go to the top of the 6th, Vikings 4, Saints nothing. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Saints 6 more outs to work with here, down 4-0. Sean, we were talking before the break about that winning streak, that 17-game winning streak, a program record for the Vikings. Part of the reason they were able to set their single-season win record here with 39 and counting. And when you talk about what happened in that series of games, everything happened. There's not one thing to look at. Vikings batted .323 with 25 doubles, 2 triples, and 14 home runs. I mean, they outscored their opponents 108-37 in that time. And a lot of it is that you're obviously going to get the production from stars like Haley Rath, like Malia Andrews, like Ashley Jacobson. These are first-team all-GNAC players. But the leaders with the bat were players like Taylor Karami, Lexi Barkham. I mean, they just had excellent runs. I mean, Karami went .450 in that time, and Lexi Barkham .412. When you're getting production from the bottom of the order as well as the continued production from the top, that offense isn't going to be stopped, and the pitching staff just staying elite. Allie Kimball was 7-0 in that run with a 1.13 ERA. That was the highest in all the pitching staff. And right now in the circle, Kiana Kong, you cannot ask for a better relief pitcher. She comes into games and just shuts the door week after week, game after game, and it's played out perfectly here today for Cheryl Gilmore, getting 4 solid innings out of Kimball and just letting Kong come in and so far making quick work of the Saints, as this one's grounded to Patoy, who's not able to make the play. A hustle single there on the infield.
Shelby Lawson using her wheels.
We already talked about the wheels from Lawson. Leads the team in steals. She's 9 for 10 on the season. Would be surprised to see a steal here with a 4-run deficit. Got to keep the base runners that you have. But Lawson, her second single of the game, this time getting it on the infield dirt and bringing up Kai Schultz. Popped out her last time up and lined out as well her first time up.
Reminder, this is a double elimination championship tournament, so if the Saints don't come back in this one, they'll still play tomorrow.
They will play the loser of the second game today between Northwest Nazarene and Central Washington, as Schultz gives that a ride out to center field. Karami tracking back and making the play. She covers so much grass out there in center. If you put it in the air in her zip code, she's probably going to get to it. She does there. Schultz has had a couple of balls hit very well out to the outfield, just not able to get it to the fence or over the wall. So now 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning. Every out here is big for the Vikings and just heartbreaking for the Saints, as they only have 5 left to work with and 4 runs to make up. First pitch out of the zone to Vanessa Smoke. Well watched there by Smoke. Experienced senior on this lineup, batting .243 coming into this game. Singled her last time up.
That deep drive by Schultz to center might have been the best stroked ball we've seen from the Saints here today.
That one is hit weakly up the middle. Patoy gets it to second base. They won't get the play at first. Good awareness there by Patoy. Looked up, saw she wasn't going to get the tag on Lawson and flipped it to Rath instead. They get the lead runner, and there's 2 away now in the 6th. That contact from Kekai Schultz, not something you see very often against Kayana Kong. As we said, a barrel misser. And we've seen it in the other 2 outs this inning, or at least in the other 2 pieces of contact this inning, put in play to the second baseman, Patoy. One of them ending in a single, and one of them a fielder's choice at second base. Bunt laid down, and it made contact with her, so it's going to be a foul ball. The batter is Connerly.
Saints need to do whatever is necessary. Get on base by any means necessary. Down 4. Just 4 outs left for St. Martin's.
They don't have an extra base hit yet in this game, and to be honest, they're going to need some. They're not going to be able to overcome this lead with singles and walks. 0-1 is the count of Smoke, delivered outside, 1-1.
Smoke, the Saints' second baseman, hitting .243 coming into this game.
St. Martin's just has had so much trouble versus the Vikings this year. 6-0 is Western Washington against St. Martin's this year. They've outscored them 31-8 in those games. And that is after eliminating them from the GNAC tournament last season. The Vikings have been a thorn in the side of this St. Martin's team for a little while now. And now Kong's got a 1-2 count. Winds and delivers. Outside, 2-2. A couple pitches to work with here for Kayana Kong.
Good eye by Connerly. Anything close, got to be swinging, but she saw that was just a bit low and outside.
Connerly has struck out swinging in both of her at-bats, trying to avoid that golden sombrero of 3 strikeouts and 3 at-bats. All 2s up on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Outside again. Connerly locked in on these pitches right now and works it to a full count.
Kong trying to paint that outside corner to end the Saints' 6th. See what she does here with a full count.
Vikings have racked up looking strikeouts this year, but every one of them so far in this game has been swinging. The 3-2 hit to Patoy, reaches up and snares it. 3 away as we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Vikings looking for a little more insurance, up 4-0.
Leading up the bottom of the 6th inning, the second baseman, Connie Patoy.
We head to the bottom of the 6th here in Bellingham. Sean Wally and Adam Race, the GNAC Softball Championships from Western Washington University. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. A beautiful spring day here in Bellingham. That shot by Patoy down the right field line, out of play.
Patoy making the play on a line drive to end the last inning.
Vikings looking to add on, get some insurance runs. They're up 4-0. Scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the fourth. Patoy, grounder to short. To Hopper. She's unable to beat it out. Another nice play at short for St. Martin's, of course. Destiny Connerly has a good glove over there.
And give credit to Patrick over at first base on the stretch. a close play and getting to that ball.
Emily Paulson up now for Western Washington, the designated player, takes strike one. One down, bottom of the sixth.
And this has just been a typical Western Washington performance, something we've seen all season. Doing just enough with the bats, a solid 4 runs, and just shutting it down on the other end. Saints have not really been able to get anything going offensively. This has been the problem teams have had against the Vikings. There's another base hit for the senior Paulson.
Paulson on top of that one, lines it into left field. Vikings have a runner on first base with one down here in the bottom of the sixth, up 4-0. Looking to advance, stay in the winner's bracket on day 2, Friday.
They would face the winner of the game 2 today, I believe. And that would be the GNAC semifinals for them, as we're going to see a pinch runner here. Emily Paulson will step away. That's going to be Rachel Traxler. Traxler has been the go-to pinch runner for this Vikings team. She's got a handful of runs on the season.
Rachel Traxler, now batting the center fielder.
Traxler scored 8 runs. She's only had 7 at-bats, so definitely being used in that pinch running position often. 1 for 1 on steal attempts.
Center fielder Karami up now for Western Washington. Shows bunt, pulls it back, looks at ball 1.
Karami already a couple of singles in this one. Just well struck up the middle, quality ABs for her.
Johnson delivers ball 2. Double play would be something St. Martin's would love right now, so they can get to their final ups. The 2-0, low and outside.
It's been a commendable job by Richard Johnson in relief here, coming in and trying to keep the Flames down, and has done well against this lineup, but in a little bit of control trouble here as she walks Karami on 4 pitches, who's aboard for the 3rd time in 3 plate appearances today.
Vikings threatening here in the bottom of the 6th. They lead 4-0, 2 on, 1 down. And to the number 9 hitter, it's the right fielder, McKenna Crum.
If you're Johnson, you just got to put that out of your mind. Pretend it didn't happen. You've still got the double play ball, and Crum, a slap hitter. If she keeps it in the infield, Saints could turn that inning-ending double play. You just got to make your quality pitches and put that 4-pitch walk completely out of your memory.
Johnson's 0-1. Fouled away, out of play. Quickly, 2 strikes.
And just the start you want against a contact hitter like Crum, a couple of foul balls, and force her to protect.
The 0-2 to Crum with 1 down. It's foul in front of the Saints dugout.
You're not going to see a lot of swing and misses from McKenna Crum. She gets bat to ball with impressive consistency. Probably going to have to get her out with a play defensively and not with the K.
We'll dial up the 0-2 again. Hit to center field. Driving St. Martin's Zachary back. She makes the catch. Runners cannot advance, so 2 down for Western Washington here in the 6th.
Well, Crum not a power hitter, so Zachary was playing in, had to track back for a medium depth fly ball, but didn't come back to bite her, was able to make the play running out towards the fence. And up comes Malia Andrews. Boy, has she been effective already in this one. A triple, a double, and a walk in 3 plate appearances. Another one here would score another run for the Vikings.
2 on, 2 down. Vikings up 4-0, looking for more. That ball out of play down the left field line. That'll be a long strike for Andrews, the Viking 3rd baseman.
Andrews has just been seeing everything so well this year. Best eye in the GNAC with the most walks, one of the best OBPs in the GNAC. And not only can she put it in play and swing at her pitch, but she gets a barrel to it and she goes for extra bases very often. The unanimous 1st team all GNAC selection in her 1st year as a Viking.
Bridget Johnson in the circle would love a strikeout to get to the bats for St. Martin's.
That's absolutely crucial here. I mean, a 4-0 hole already against Kiana Kong is not looking great. You cannot afford to give up anything else.
Breeze picking up slightly here in Bellingham. Beautiful 60-degree day. The 0-2. Going outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on for the Vikings. Outfielders near the warning track. They're playing deep.
And Andrews does have some pop in that bat. You got to respect it.
The 1-2, way high. Runners get to advance because the ball gets to the backstop. Went off the glove of Schultz.
Second or maybe third pitch that's gotten by. And once again, we see runners move up to scoring position. Came back to bite them the last time. A single could score 2 here for Andrews.
Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom 6. Ground ball to first base. Off the glove. Second baseman covering. What a job on both ends. First baseman missing the ball initially. Patrick able to stay with it. And the wise Smoke covering it from second base.
That is a great defensive play right there, working out of a tough hop. And they go to the top of the 7th inning. They've got 3 outs and 4 runs to make up. We'll see if they can do it.
Saints, their final chance. They trail 4-0 here in Bellingham on GNAC.TV. Final chance for St. Martin's here in Game 1 of the GNAC Softball Championships. Sean Wally with Adam Race. Host Western Washington. They lead 4-0, top of the 7th. St. Martin's last chance.
Diana Kong came in relief for Ellie Kimball. She's pitched 2 innings, allowed just 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 1 on 27 pitches. She's been as efficient as ever.
Olivia Matlock, first chance here in the top of the 7th, looks at strike 1 for St. Martin's.
That's the outside corner that Kong's been trying to find all day. Gets the call there.
Kong, a long look in. The 0-1. It's a sharp ground ball. Over nicely, second baseman for Western Washington, Petoy. 1 down for the Saints in their final chance here in the top of the 7th.
Very well done there by Connie Petoy. Started her Vikings career as the 3rd baseman. That was back in her freshman campaign. Shifted over to second base starting last year. And she's always had a very good glove at the hot corner or over on the right side at second.
Mia Zachary from the left side with 1 down for St. Martin's. Takes a look at ball 1. Game 2 at 2:30, Central Washington and NNU.
The 1 versus the 4, Central Washington trying to cause what would be a big shock. And NU has just been excellent as always. Back-to-back GNAC tournament champions. First program to win back-to-back tournaments are the Nighthawks, and they come into this one as the favorites. Top 2 in the region, top 15 in the country.
1-1 to Zachary, and she gets a single into the left center field. Saints have a shot. They need runs in a hurry. One down, top 7, they trail 4-0.
Still a lot of work to do, but that is a huge base hit to reset to the top of the order against, some batters here that are as good at getting on base as anyone in the conference. This is a spot that Kong's going to have to be careful with here. A couple of batters with an on-base percentage just a little bit under 400. One out already, though. Single ball in play could end it.
Ashley Goodall now, top of the order. She looks at ball 1.
Goodale with a walk, a line out, and a strikeout swinging in her first 3 at-bats today.
The 1-0 from Kong. In there for strike 1. Count even, 1-1, 1 down, with Zachary on first for St. Martin's. They've had base runners this afternoon, just not able to get the clutch hit and bring anybody home. That needs to change now, or else they will drop game 1.
And the tying run for them is still in the hole.
Nice, strong throw to first base. Diving back is Zachary.
Really like that back pick attempt there by Andrew Jeffsky-Ramirez, trying to steal an out on a speedy Mia Zachary, who was taking a bit of a generous lead. And that would be a foolish way to get out here with the tying run still in the dugout. You've just got to stay on base. No reason to get caught on the base paths here if you're Zachary.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Runner on first. Top 7, 4-0 Vikings. Kong delivers. Just a bit outside.
Believe so. That has been how it has been here in this game. And it's been something the Viking pitchers have been able to work around. They've only got 4 strikeouts to 2 walks, but they've generated a lot of weak balls in play, and the defense has come through as always, and that has been how the Vikings now find themselves 2 outs away from a win.
The 2-2, and that's going to drop in front of the center fielder, but wisely throwing to second base, getting the force out. Great awareness by Karami, and that ball hit so sharply, wasn't enough time for Zachary to get into second base.
3rd outfield assist of the season for Taylor Karami. That's a really tough spot to be in as Zachary over at first base. You do not want to get caught doubled up back at first base, so you're watching. You're supposed to freeze on a line drive. She froze on that one a little bit too long and got caught out at second base. That is a base runner's nightmare.
Third baseman Heather Ebner, the last chance possibly for St. Martin's with 2 down. No runs on the board, all zeros for St. Martin's. They trail 4-0 here at Western Washington University. Sean Wally with Adam Race, game 1 of the GNAC Softball Championships. Kongs 0-1. Pitch looks good, in there for strike 2, and the Saints are down to their final strike.
Well, the bell may be tolling here for SMU. Kiana Kong, 0-2 count. One of the best pitchers in the GNAC, lowest ERA, and she's got SMU right where she wants them. Everything has to go right here for the Saints if they're going to keep this game going.
Kongs 0-2. Don't know how you don't go swinging at that, at least to try to stay alive, but a ball is the call.
Very impressive eye from the freshman of the year, Heather Ebner. The zone awareness of a seasoned veteran.
Goodall on first. Kong's ready with the 1-2 and 2 outs. Not even close on that one. Goodall slides into second. She is safe.
Now she got in there, but I gotta say, I do not agree with her even trying to run there. Close play at second, you're down 4. You need
1 run doesn't help.
1 run does not help.
It helps, but it doesn't solve the 4-run deficit.
Goodale has wheels, was confident in her ability to take that one, but.
And you absolutely don't want to make the final out.
Absolutely not.
Trying to swipe a bag. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bottom, top 7, I should say. Sharp single into center field, and St. Martin's has their first run of the day. Goodell scores after swiping that bag. Ebner goes up the middle.
So I guess she goes and proves me wrong there with it paying off with the run. Ebner, who has had success this year against Western Washington, was the main offensive force when SMU came to Viking Field earlier this season in GNAC play. SMU with the tying run now on deck and still in the most dangerous part of the order with Brittany Patrick, the 3-hole hitter, up to bat.
Hitting .336 coming into today. 4-1, St. Martin's on the board. Might be too little too late, but they're staying alive. 1 strike.
And if you're Kong, you're just happy not to give up hard contact here. That's been what she's been able to do all season. All they've given up is singles, and Cheryl Gilmore going to come to the circle here, talk things over. Got a freshman pitcher in there, and just try to get her even keel to get this last out of the game.
No action in the Viking bullpen.
Now, this is a Vikings team that very rarely sees more than 2 pitchers in a game. Cheryl Gilmore has seen the Kimball to Kong or Joey Baker to Kong transition in just about every single contest this season, and it's worked a charm. So Kong is going to finish this game out one way or the other. Kong has had some long relief appearances. With 1 out to go here, if you're Cheryl Gilmore, you got to be confident that your freshman pitcher pitching to a 1.3 ERA can finish the job.
Vikings hope this game could be over with just 1 more pitch. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down, runner on first, 1 run in for St. Martin's, and it should be over with that 1 pitch, and it is. The ground ball to second, the force out there. Western Washington advances, stays in the winner's bracket. They win it 4-1 over St. Martin's, game 1 here in the GNAC Softball Championship.
Winning pitcher for today will be Allie Kimball. She tossed a solid 4.0, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Kong closing the door, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Saddled with the loss is Tia Ridings, who went 1 inning, gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs. On the batting end of things, Vikings got a little production from everywhere, but the top of the lineup coming through, Andrews with an RBI, Barkham with a pair of RBIs, and Andrew Jeffsky Ramirez with a run batted in as well. That is what we've seen all year from the Vikings. Take a lead and hold on. Very well done from the number 2 seed.
St. Martin's needs to regroup, find their sticks overnight. They play at 12:30 tomorrow. Western Washington needs to relax, get some rest, because they have the early game 10 a.m. tomorrow.
And we're going to see in just 30 minutes here the matchup between Northwest Nazarene, the number 1 seed, and the 4 seed Central Washington University.
Vikings win game 1, 4-1. The GNAC Softball Championships off and running. We'll be back at 2:30 with game 2 between NNU and CWU. For Adam Race, John Altenhofen doing everything for us. Sean Wally, thanks for watching. Come on back at 2:30, game 2 on deck here in the GNAC Softball Championships on GNAC